and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. My name is Tova, and I will be your guide today. So today we're going to pull some cards for the collective. The energy has been pretty intense, pretty heavy lately. I don't know if you've been feeling it. I have absolutely been feeling it. And I've been talking to some colleagues around here, and they are also absolutely feeling it. So we're going to get some general messages to see what we need to hear and what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards, and then we will check that out. Just a reminder, if you are interested in a personal reading, the information is in the description box below. Okay, if you are looking to get an in-person reading, there is an app. There is a link to book an in-person reading. And if you are looking to book a video reading or recorded reading like I do on my channel, you can send me an email and we can get that scheduled and worked out, and I can get that done for you. Okay. So let's, today we're working with the Energy Oracle deck. We're going to clarify with the Osho Zen Tarot. We're going to add more clarification with the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. And get our final clarification, we're just going to work with some regular playing cards because, yes, you can read tarot with a deck of regular playing cards. It will be the minor arcana, not the major arcana, but you can still get the messages from a regular deck of playing cards. Okay, so let's give them a shuffle. I saw walking away in there, feminine energy, choosing to walk away from something, walking away from being attached to something. Looks like someone is learning non-attachment. That's a great place to be. Okay. Got those shuffled. Just some house cleaning business or some housekeeping as I get these shuffled. If you are interested in getting any healing work done, I do massage, I do Reiki, I do some energy work. If that is something that you are interested in getting done in person, the same link that you use to book an in-person tarot reading will be the same link that you use to book a massage. If you are in my local area, in the Windsor, Essex County area, I do have openings for massages. I do hot stone, jade hot stone. I do shamanic Hawaiian lomi lomi work. I do work with Thai yoga, which is a lot of stretching. I like to call it lazy man's yoga. Okay. And I do indie head massage, as well as Reiki sessions, energy work, and rebalancing the chakras. So as I was shuffling, two cards did fall out. Okay. Two cards did fall out, and they are self-worth and isolation. Okay, so this is the sacral chakra with self-worth, and this is the throat chakra with communication with isolation. So I feel that whoever this message is for, someone is currently working on spending time alone to understand more about their self-worth, to understand that they are in fact a king or a queen with some type of royalty, and they are not out there in the barren cold and the barren snow. They have more worth than they recognize. Okay. So that's just our starting message before we get going. I hope that resonates for someone. So let's get our beginning messages in. Let's call in our guides and see what we need to hear. Okay. What is that? These are the Wisdom Oracle Chakra cards. Okay. So they are based on the chakra colors. The orange is the sacral chakra. That is your connection to your feelings, your emotions. And the blue is the throat chakra, which is connection. The blue is the throat connection, the communication, being able to talk about stuff. Okay. All right. So angels, guides, ancestors, for all those who are tuning in now and those who will tune in on the replay, help us get clear guided messages so they know what they need to hear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe. All right. So just don't forget, if you are resonating with this, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay. Let's hear what we need to hear. What does our collective need to hear today? Okay, first cards out, we have cornucopia in the reverse position and woman holding a coin in the reverse position. Okay, so these two cards coming out together talks about someone who is letting go of their focus on the physical world. Ooh, with angel of love on the bottom. This is talking about somebody who is letting go of their focus on the physical world where they have not been having enough plentiful. Okay, cornucopia would be about having more than you need, right? horn of plenty, having lots and lots and lots and lots, abundance. In the reverse position, this is talking about having some lack. So there's a feminine energy. Don't forget the energy of feminine or masculine has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with the energy that you possess. You can be a masculine person with feminine energy. You can be a feminine person with masculine energy. It does not resonate with gender. It has to do with energy. Okay, let's find out what this is about. Cornucopia in reverse and woman holding a coin in reverse. Tell me about this, please. Clarify these. Why are we focused on lack? Okay, the clarification is Four of Swords. Ooh, dude, I love this. I love this energy. The clarification is Four of Swords in the reverse with postponement. Okay, working on learning that you want to go for what you want. Okay, this card talks about, see how this person, everything around the frame is gray, colorless. Okay, joyless is the words I just heard. But she's starting to pick up color, and then through the frame is all of this colorful stuff. This is the life she wants. This is where she's at. But she's starting to take action towards the life she wants. That's why the rainbow colors are starting to pick up here. But this is in the reverse position. Postponement, waiting, having to wait for something. So there's somebody who is in a position of waiting. They don't have enough, but they're in a position of waiting. On the bottom is the Empress. Okay, the bottom of this deck is the Empress, and the bottom of this deck is Angel of Love. So this is talking about somebody who is needing to learn to stand in their power through unconditional love. I am currently in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So if you are in my local area and you want a personal reading, that's cool. Let me know. The link is in the description to book a personal reading in person with me. Okay, I'm going to use the chakra cards to find out what this is about. Tell me more about, we're no longer waiting. We're learning to take action. We're moving out of a period of healing and we're moving forward. Tell me more about this. Recovery. Okay, recovery is in the midway. Okay, so for whoever this is, they are working on learning to find the key to get themselves out. Okay, that would be what this postponement in reverse is about. Working towards finding the color. Somebody is learning to find, because this came in the midway, right? So someone is working on it. We're not here yet. We're getting there. Someone's working on finding the key and recovering from where they thought they couldn't be, where they thought they could not heal. Okay. On the bottom is dissipating. Okay. The bottom is dissipating. Something's dissipating. Something's going away. Something is being relieved. Okay. Tell me more. What else does our collective need to hear today? Okay, seventh chakra in the reverse position. Okay, I just got this same message. This was coming up in the Facebook reading that I just did. You can find that at Tova Lala on Facebook. But you can also find, I just did a reading on Instagram recently, same channel, We're Going Healing on Instagram. And the same message came up. Somebody is blocked from their connection to source. Seventh chakra is your connection to the divine. Whether you call that God, whether you call that the universe, whether you call that source, whether you call it divine, whether you call it your higher self, whatever name you give it isn't the point. Somebody is disconnected from that higher power energy. Okay, there's something that is bigger than you. Tell me about this seventh chakra. Okay, I went to go move the deck. I don't believe in coincidences. I went to go move the deck, and these were left behind. 10 of Pentacles, and I believe this is the moon with past lives. Okay, these two cards talk about karmic patterns and being able to overcome. 10 of Pentacles is having the life that you want, having the resources you want, having everything that makes you feel really good. Somebody is working out of past karmic patterns. So this might be in your own pattern life. This might also be something that happened with your family. This might be karmic patterns within your family line, your lineage. So this could be, given that it's the seventh chakra, we're clarifying the seventh chakra. Maybe people in your life don't believe in the divine, and that's something that's a past life pattern, and that is being overcome with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. I still want to clarify what's going on with the seventh chakra in reverse. Why are we not connected to source, the divine source energy? Why is that closed? 8, there's a lot of 8s just came up, okay? We have the 8 of Wands in the reverse. We have the 2 of Swords upright, and we have the 8 of Pentacles upright, okay? So this is talking about so we're asking for clarification on why is the connection to the divine, to the higher power, why is that closed off? And we got that there's a feeling of being stagnant, of being stuck, traveling in the reverse position. There's a feeling of being stagnant and stuck, and an inability to be able to make a decision, not knowing whether you should let go with your hands or let go with your feet and just allow yourself to move. Here's the thing. It didn't matter whether you let go with your hands or whether you let go with your feet. The problem is, unless you make a decision to choose, you are stuck there. It doesn't matter if you go head first or if you go foot first. At least then you will be in a position of movement. At least then you will be able to find out what happens next and then take action from the next place. As long as you are in a position of, I don't know what to do, you can't take, you can't take movement forward. My throat chakra just got blocked. I don't know if maybe someone's having a hard time communicating that, or maybe not hearing the communication, but someone is having a hard time making a choice because what they want is enough financial resources, putting in the effort and work to be able to enjoy a life where they don't have to work so hard. That's what the Eight of Pentacles here, the ordinariness. In this deck, that's what it talks about, not having to work so hard, being able to get the life that you want that feels really good. But I think being that you're stuck, and you don't know what to do, you want to have this life where you can just enjoy life and not have to work really, really hard for it. You don't know what to do and how to get there. And the problem, of course, is because your seventh chakra is blocked. Your connection to the divine is blocked. Here's the thing. We don't know how to do everything. Right? We don't know how to do every single thing. If we try to figure out how to do it from our logic, we're going to miss something. Why? Because we don't have all the pieces. We don't have all the information. There's a bigger picture. That's why you connect to the higher power, the higher source. Again, higher self, maybe your future version of yourself who already knows what the outcome is, who already knows what happens. When you connect with that version, they're the ones who can actually help you figure out, how do I get to the point of being able to enjoy my life without having to work so hard, without having to put in so much effort? Clarify this, please. Tell me more about this particular thing. Okay. All right. One hit the floor. Hang on. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles with abundance. We have the Nine of Cups with feeling really good, having your heart's desire. And we have the 10 of Cups. Okay. So yeah, this is again, someone is stuck and they want to make a choice because what they want is 9 and 10. 9 and 10 of Cups is feeling absolutely spectacular. And 10 of Pentacles is abundance. This is more than you need. More than you need. Like an excess. So much that your needs are met and you have enough to give to other people. That's going to make you really happy. Okay. So tell me then, if the connection to source is closed and the problem is we're stuck and we don't know how to get there, but what can be had is there's lots of abundance and feeling good. So tell me about that. Okay. Growth. Okay. Growth is the answer to that with the heart chakra. Growth. About things growing, about planting seeds and allowing things to grow. I think that means that right now, the higher power, there is something happening. And I'm feeling it's about divine timing. There's something happening where something is growing, but you don't see the fruits of your labor just yet. Okay. You don't see the fruits of your labor just yet. And I think that's because we're closing out old cycles. Okay. You can't move into the new cycle if you're still sitting in the old cycle. You have to close out the old cycle. And I don't think it's something you personally have to do. I think it's more about something that has to happen outside of you to close this cycle off. Okay. What else does our collective need to hear? Man holding a coin in the reverse position. So we've already seen the woman holding a coin in the reverse position. That was the first card out. Now we have a man holding a coin in the reverse position. So this could be talking about both a masculine and feminine energy. This could be talking about the masculine and feminine energy within you. Let's find out more about this masculine energy who is like the feminine energy, letting go of the focus on the physical world. Clarify man holding a coin in the reverse, please. Okay, clarification is Queen of Swords with projections on the bottom. Okay. All right, so the masculine energy who is working on letting go of his focus on the physical world has to do with, he's got a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts. Okay. This particular Queen of Swords is called morality. And in this deck, they talk about the focus on what something should look like or shouldn't look like. It's when you sit around saying, well, it should be like this. It should look like that. It shouldn't look like this. It shouldn't look like that. The problem is that's attachment, right? In the Buddhist concept of non-attachment, when we are attached to a certain outcome, nothing else will do because we only want that outcome. So even if an alternative outcome is available, one that might actually be better, if we're saying, I only want this one thing and I will only accept this one thing, it's almost like you're telling the universe how it should be. Instead of the universe saying, listen, I got you, fam, I got you, I will take care of you, I got what you need. You're basically trying to tell the universe, listen, this is how it's going to go. And the universe is kind of laughing at you. Like, you think that's how it's going to go. But if you could zoom out and see the bigger picture, you would see there is more going on there than you even know about. So this masculine energy who is letting go of their focus on the physical world is really focused on what things should be and what things shouldn't be. Now, here's the thing. Those are projections. With the 7 of Cups on the bottom, this is projections because here's the real people. And here's how they are viewing the other person. He sees her of this face. She sees him as this face. But what we see, because they're ghostly, that's not actually who they are. This, the neutrality, the neutral feeling, this is actually who they are, not this. So in explanation for the man holding a coin in reverse with the Queen of Swords, this is about someone who thinks it should look a certain way, and they're projecting that onto the people around them. You should behave like this. You should feel like this. You should, or I should feel like this. I should act like this. I should. The problem with shoulds is you're forcing something to be something other than it is. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said something along the lines of, it might have been Andy. I listened to Headspace, one of my favorite apps. I've been using it for like 7 or 8 years now. Love Headspace. And I think it was Andy in Headspace that said, stress often comes when we want something to be different than the way that it is. That's what causes the stress. We look at a situation, we see what it's showing, and then we say, well, I want it to look like this instead. It should look like this instead. And when it doesn't, it creates stress for us because we want it to look a certain way and it doesn't. And then it creates all this disharmony within us, right? So the answer to that is always let go and allow. My guides keep saying, relax, release, allow. Relax, let it go, and allow things to unfold the way they're meant to. Let's clarify this. Man holding a coin in reverse with the Queen of Swords. Tell me more about this, please. Okay, that one hit the floor. Hang on. Isolation. There it is a second time. Okay, so this is talking about the need to spend time by yourself, the need to spend time to really look at why you think something should be a certain way and why it shouldn't. Because again, we're talking about these projections. So for whoever this person is, if this is resonating for you, don't forget to hit a thumbs up, give it a like. If it is resonating for you, don't feel free to leave a comment if you feel so inclined. But there's a need for you to spend time alone so that you can have a better look at where you are projecting things that are not necessarily true. Okay. What else does our collective need to hear today? Okay, where are you? You flipped. Where are you? Okay, envy. Yeah, this is the same kind of message about wanting something to be different than it is. Okay, envy is looking at something else and saying, I want it to be like that. I see that and I want it to look like that. I'm getting a message about seeing relationships. They're also showing me money. Seeing relationships and money, seeing something else and saying, I want my relationship or I want my finances to look like that. I want it to be like that. Okay. The envy is wanting it to be something other than it is, seeing something and saying, I want it to look like that, rather than being happy with what you have in the moment. Let's clarify. Envy, please. Yeah, get out of your head. Okay. This is the Page of Swords. Okay. And this card talks about being armored up and protecting yourself and having all those detonation buttons, being ready for a fight. See the white knuckles? Being ready for a fight, imagining an argument. See, that's what the clouds are in the background. Imagining an argument, protecting yourself, armoring up, and being easily triggered. That's what all those little detonation buttons are talking about, being easily triggered. Okay. So the envy, and this came in the reverse position. So wanting something to be other than what it is, wanting something other than what you have, is causing you to be caught up. It's making you defensive. It's making you protective. It's making you defend yourself and protect yourself because you're worried about what could come. Let's clarify. Tell me more about this armoring up in regards to wanting something to be different than what it is. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. We have bittersweet, we have dissipating, and we have facade as the clarification. Okay. And so these two are your solar plexus chakra. Those are sense of self. And this one is communication. So this is talking about somebody needs to allow themselves to communicate. And there's some energy that needs to dissipate because there's something that's fake. There's something that's not real. Okay. The facade card talks about something that's not real. Okay. It's fake. It's a facade. It's a show. That's actually the third time that message about masks and facades have come up. Again, if you follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, there was a message about that, about masks and facades. And then I did a reading just a little while ago on Facebook, and it was the same thing, another message about masks and facades. So this might resonate for you. You might want to check those readings out if this is resonating for you, because there might be some more information available to you. So to let go of your fighting, let go of your focus on the mental, this is an energy that is dissipating, is starting to go away, because you're recognizing that not everything is going to be the way you want it to be. Some things are awesome, some things are not. I already said blabbering and say where you're from. I already did say where I'm from. I am from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Okay. And I don't appreciate you saying blabbering. I'm sharing messages. Okay. If you don't want to share the messages, you're welcome to leave. You don't have to be here. You don't have to do it. No one's forcing you. Okay. So this bittersweet and this facade, this is what has to do with this fighting. This energy is dissipating. Clarify this for me. Okay. We got the 6 of Pentacles and 2 of Cups. Okay. So this might be about a relationship for somebody. Okay. 2 of Cups doesn't have to be, it's about pouring into someone else and creating balance between the two. Okay. I accept your apology. Thank you. I appreciate that. 6 of Pentacles is about giving and receiving in equal balance. So I think that given that we're seeing, you're looking at a relation, you're looking at something where you're like, I wish it was more like that. But in order for you to have that, you're going to have to, I just saw 2222 on my timer. If numbers resonate for anyone, 2s are all about balance. So there might be a need here for someone to balance out their emotions and to focus on equal give and take, and not just giving all the time or receiving all the time. That's going to be what helps you put your armor down, take your armor off, and allow you to be less reactive to stuff. Okay, let's get one final message here. What is our collectively? Oh, that's interesting. On the bottom of the deck is man holding a heart. Okay, a masculine energy who's interested in now offering his emotions and not just his resources. Okay, let's see what else we need to hear for our collective. Last message for our collective, please. Okay, 4th chakra in the upright with broken heart in reverse on the bottom. Yeah, keep your heart open. Open up that heart. Okay, 4th chakra is the heart chakra. Ooh, as I say that, I'm feeling like a like a pressure, like a weight sitting on my heart. You might be experiencing grief. You might have some grief in your heart that needs to be released. That makes sense with the broken heart in reverse on the bottom, some heartbreak that needs to be let go of. Keep your heart open and let that heartbreak go. Release it. It's not serving you. It's not benefiting you. And if you're keeping stuck on that, it's not helping you move forward. Tell me about this heart chakra, please. Clarify the heart chakra. There's the King of Swords now. We saw the Queen of Swords already with morality. Now we have the King of Swords in the midway, clarifying the heart chakra. Okay. So keeping your heart open and letting go of mental control. Stop trying to control everything. Okay. Stop trying to make everything happen the way that you need to be. The Emperor rebel is in the verse on the bottom. You're keeping yourself chained. Okay. When it's in the upright, you're breaking chains. See how those chains around his feet are broken? You're breaking the chains and you're embodying self. When it is in the reverse position, not yet there, not yet in mastery, okay? Not yet getting to that point of mastery. So I think this is talking about a masculine energy who's been the King of Swords is also, it's about control, but it's also mental. It's someone who's very logical. The King of Swords is very logical, makes the decisions based on logic, not on emotion. The problem with that, when we're talking about the heart chakra, is the heart chakra, the heart cannot be understood by the mind. The heart has to be understood by the feelings. It's feelings. It's not just about thoughts. It's not just about logicking something, right? It's about the feelings. And if we're the King of Swords, we need to let go of the focus on just the mental stuff and allow ourselves to be in a space of emotional, okay? Allow ourselves to be in a space of emotional receptivity, I heard. Clarify the heart chakra open and letting go of mental control. Joy is the card with destiny on the bottom. Okay. So opening yourself up, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and allowing yourself to be in a space of joy, allowing yourself to feel the emotions, allowing yourself to feel the emotion of joy. Okay. Of excitement, of satisfaction. Clarify this final message, please. Ace of Swords, a new way of thinking. Okay. So yeah, keep your heart open, let go of mental control, allow yourself to experience more joy, and change the way that you see things, because the confusion comes when we think things are a certain way and then they don't follow the way we think they're supposed to go, right? We've already talked about that, about the shoulds and shouldn'ts, focusing on what we think it should be and what we don't think it should be, right? So the final message here is about keeping your heart open, allowing yourself to feel your feelings that come up, not trying to logic them, with King of Swords in reverse, not trying to logic through your feelings, but allowing yourself to embody the feeling, to be in a space of joy, to be in a space of excitement, to be in a space of, they're giving me the vibe of letting go and just not caring, not giving a crap, right? Just enjoying life. And if other people are like, oh, what the heck's going on there? You're like, you be you, dude. You do you, boo. With the Ace of Swords, it's a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing things. This is the typical card that goes in the deck. I consider this the Joker. I see that as the Fool. So a new start. When you change the way you're thinking about it, it creates a new start. It creates a new trajectory, a new pathway that is destined for you with the Destiny card, okay? And again, let go of that heartbreak, let go of where the suffering has been. Don't tell yourself suffering storylines, okay? This is something I really want to share because it's really important, since the first cards that came out were the 10 of Pentacles and the Past Lives card, okay? When you get caught up in suffering storylines, you keep yourself stuck in the suffering. What do I mean by suffering storylines? When you tell yourself the story of, let's say, your partner said something hurtful. So then you tell yourself the story, maybe I'm kidding myself. Maybe they're not actually who, just for clarification, this is a direct example from my own personal life and my own healing experience. Maybe you tell yourself the story of, maybe they're not who I thought they were. Maybe they're not the kind, loving individual I thought they were. Maybe when people show you who they are, believe them. I disagree with that statement. When people show you who they are, believe them. Because here's the deal. Sometimes what you're seeing are trauma responses. They're not the real person. That's their trauma response, right? That's their, I have to control everything. I have to do everything. I have to be a certain way. And it's not quite who I really am. I can't really be myself. I'm putting on a show. I'm wearing a mask. They might be performing. And that's not who they really are. But then you start to say, well, maybe that's who they really are. Maybe I'm tricking myself. My intuition says they're loving. My intuition says they're caring. My intuition says this, but they're not showing me that. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing the situation wrong. Maybe they are the horrible, nasty individual they're showing me they are from the trauma responses. That is a suffering storyline. Why? Because your heart already knows the truth. Now, it's not to say you can't set boundaries. Set boundaries. If someone is being a jerk, if someone is being insulting, if someone is being hurtful, you are absolutely allowed to say, hey, that's not cool. I don't want to be talked to that way. Okay. If you're going to continue choosing to speak to me that way, then I'm just going to choose to disengage, and I'm not going to spend time with people who talk to me that way. I'm going to walk away. Boundaries are about, what are you going to do if somebody disrespects your boundary? You say, this is what I will or will not accept. And if someone says, well, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway, then it's up to you. It's not about controlling them and forcing them to act the way you want them to act. It's about saying what is or is not acceptable for you. And if they choose to engage in the behavior that you have clearly expressed is not acceptable for you, it is what you are going to do if they choose to do that. It's not how you're going to enforce it, because boundaries are not about controlling people. They're about what you are going to do if someone crosses your boundary. Whether that's you choose to disengage, you stop talking to them, you stop going to family Christmas, you stop whatever it is you choose to do, is about what you are going to do when someone else crosses your boundary. Now, set your boundaries, set your limits. However, it's not about telling yourself the suffering storyline. That's you caught up in your own head, caught up in the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. It should look like this. It shouldn't look like that. Listen, being a human is messy. It is. We worry about AI, but here's the thing. Human beings are messy. Okay. We have messy emotions. We have patterns. We have triggers. We have traumas. We have all these things. Human beings are messy, and that's going to get messy. Okay. That is just part of being a human being. You can't just look at someone on their worst day and say, well, that's who they really are. Because that's what we saw about projections. Where was that? Oh, it might've been in the last reading. I don't see it anymore. That's the projections, right? When we're projecting onto someone, we're projecting this is who we think they are based on how they made us feel. But that is not true. That is how we are feeling in response to their stuff. That does not make it true. When we start telling those suffering storylines that they're never going to love me, they're never going to treat me right, what we're doing is victimizing ourselves. We're not standing in our power. We're not standing in self-confidence. We're not standing in self-worth, because when we're standing in self-worth, we say, you know what? I am worthy of being treated with respect. And if this person is incapable of doing so, if I have expressed out loud to this person, I want to be spoken to with respect. I want to be treated with respect and kindness. If they are not capable of doing so, that's where our boundary is. That's when we enforce our boundary. This is what I'm going to do in regards to you not treating me with respect. But it starts with you respecting yourself enough to say, hey, you can't treat me like that. Hey, I know what my value and my worth is. I know that I bring a lot of value to this. And if you can't see that, that's not my problem. I respect you and I care about you, but it is not my problem to fix your emotions. You are not responsible for other people's emotions. I'm going to say it again for those in the back. You are not responsible for someone else's emotions. You are responsible for yours. You are responsible for what you do when you are triggered. You are responsible for what you do when you have emotions, but you are not responsible for how they respond to the emotions that they're having. That is their responsibility. Can you have empathy? Absolutely. Can you understand why they would feel that way? Absolutely. But it is their choice on what behaviors they engage in. It is not yours. You cannot control someone outside of you. They are in control of themselves. And if they choose to take actions that are hurtful, that is their decision. That is not yours to fix. That is theirs to fix. Okay? I hope that gets through, because it's kind of important. Those of us who have trauma and are people pleasers, those of us who have anxious attachment, we tend to want to fix other people. We see that they are upset and we try to mitigate their upset. Okay, if we learned that in childhood to manage a parent with excessive emotions and we walked on eggshells to avoid creating upset, it creates a pattern that we think that we have to do, right? We don't need to do that in our work relationships. We don't need to do that in our friend relationships. We don't need to do that in our romantic relationships. We do not need to adjust for someone else's inability to handle their own emotions. We are not expected to handle someone else's emotions. Those are theirs. They live inside of them. It is not our job to do. We are responsible for our emotions, our thoughts, our actions. We are not responsible for other people's choices. That is their choice. And if they choose to grow, they do. If they choose not to, they do. It is not up to us to do that for someone else. We can't, even if we wanted to. Let's be real. Because anyone who's been in a difficult relationship knows if I could snap my fingers like that and make them adjust, I would have already done it. But I can't, because it's not my job to do. It's their job to do. So instead, you are being asked repeatedly in here to focus on having your own mental clarity, find joy, let go of mental control, and keep your heart open. Okay. Keep your heart space open. If people are coming in and they're showing you that they're ready to change, give them an opportunity. You don't have to. Okay. I just want to clarify. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. Any advice I'm giving you, it is your life. You make those choices. If you decide to take my advice, great. If you choose not to, also great. I am not in charge of your life. You are in charge of your life. I am just giving you information that might be beneficial to you. Okay, so let's see what's on the bottom of the decks. Again, we said destiny, we said broken heart in reverse, and we said the rebel in reverse, breaking those chains, not getting caught up in these old patterns, and the new start. Okay, so the new life starts when you stop living the old life. Stop living the old life. Look at where you are telling yourself these stories of suffering. Look at where you're telling yourself that I want something to be different than it is. Accept things as they show up. Keep your heart open. Trust that there is a bigger plan. Okay, and allow yourself to heal through these things that have caused you pain and suffering so that you can get to the other side of it. Okay, I hope that this message found whoever it was meant to find. I hope this is beneficial for you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give a thumbs up. It helps my channel be found by other people who might also need this message. Feel free to share it around if it resonated for you and you know someone that might be beneficial for. And again, if you are interested in a personal reading, all that information is in the description box. Until next time, you guys, keep letting go of all those things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye.